As I'm sure some of you can imagine by now, we're going to be getting a lot of kind of Blood Elven and Void Elven sets come midnight. I wanted to go ahead and showcase some of those sets and also kind of talk about the significance of each color swatch according to the lore. Now, Blood Elves in particular are kind of interesting. They are one of the few races in World of Warcraft to really showcase the fact that each different noble house had a different color. And this is kind of evident in the swatches. So the first swatch here that we see for Clothies is the kind of Blood Knight set, which is most likely the color scheme of Lady Liadrin's house and Lady Liadrin's parentage and family. I know she was adopted, but this is most likely her adopted father's color. It's also the color scheme that all of the Blood Knights essentially follow. Then we have this blue-silver, which is also what the Silver Covenant currently uses. This is probably done to give a typical Blood Elven, High Elven color that could very easily fit into the Alliance palette. But on top of that, blue and silver and blue and gold were the iconic symbols and colors of the High Elves themselves for the longest time. And then we have this red, gold, and kind of tealish color that Lorthamar currently wears and that most Blood Elves are associated with. This is actually the color of the royal family, the Sunstrider family. After the Scourge attacked Eversong Woods and decimated their people, Prince Kael'thas rebranded and changed the entire city and all of their official colors from the traditional blue-gold that they used culturally to Sunstrider red and gold to honor the fallen people under the banner of the Sunstriders, and also the fact that it was a red color kind of helped symbolize blood of the fallen. Then, of course, we have a more traditional blue-gold kind of color, emphasizing the past of what they had. And this one, finally, this greenish gold color, well, it's more of a bronze, not a gold. This is actually the Farstrider color, and in the Sylvanas book, it is talked about how the Windrunner family actually has the green and bronze colors. And since a Windrunner traditionally has always been in charge of the Farstriders until the events of World of Warcraft, where it moved to Haldir Brightwing, this is just kind of their family colors, and that's why the Farstriders used that green and bronze. And then, of course, for leather, we have the other colors as well. I probably won't click on all of them, but you can kind of see here, again, following that same color palette of all of the above colors. I really do like mail. It's one of the few mail sets that I actually enjoy. I'm going to be honest. The plate set, I think, is cool, but the chest, I think, could be a little bit better. And I think it'd be nice if we had an option for hair to stick out of that helmet. Something they've been doing recently is they've allowed hair to come out of helmets more. So I think it would have really fit the Blood Elven aesthetic, at least in my opinion. Then we kind of move on more into the weapons. Again, it kind of follows the same general color schemes. The bows in particular are really great, and they're going to pair nicely if you get the back pieces from Legion Remix. That way you don't have to use the artifact weapons with them. As the Blood Elves are my favorite race in the game, these weapons are amazing to me. The shields are a particular favorite of mine. I love kind of the Phoenix embroidery with that gem at the top. It's going to be amazing. I also think it's interesting how the two-handed sword actually looks a bit different than one-handed sword. A lot of times they just kind of copy the exact animation, well, not animation, but model from the one-handed sword to the two-handed sword. And then we have some Warglaives for Demon Hunters, a nice Silver Moon red but kind of fell tinted there, and then, some other colors. Then we move on to the Void Elves. Interestingly enough, or maybe not so much so, we have the standard Void Elf Heritage armor color that is that purple and antiqued copper bronze kind of color. We then have a deep red. This is more evocative of the San Lane, as San Lane are known to use blood and shadow magic, so obviously between all of them that would fit more of the Void Elf kind of overall theme as opposed to Blood Elves and High Elves. Then we have a more Twilight Dragon and Twilight Cultist kind of color scheme with this deep purple and that kind of purplish blue slate silver color going on. followed by yet another like variation of purple and bronze, which again just makes sense for how much the void is color-wise. The interesting standout for most people is going to be this green and gold color. This one is, as I mentioned before, to be kind of like a homage to Illyria Windrunner, who is currently the faction leader of the Void Elves. So it kind of copies her family lineage and honors it by using this color scheme. And then we have, lastly, this new white and more like bluish purple, which is the exact same color scheme that Illyria switched to in the War Within. It's kind of the new Cosmic Void scheme that the Void Elves in general are moving to, so most NPCs are going to be decked out in this color for Void Elves, which a lot of people aren't the happiest about. I think it's a bit weird. Almost no one is in the purple and antique copper that I've seen anymore, but it is what it is. And at least we have some nice options that can match that Void Elf Heritage armor, finally. And the Xerolite Cavern set, by the way, is going to be really good for this color swatch. But yeah, I'm honestly surprised how much I like the kind of like tealish green and gold color option. I think Plate, though, probably is one of the better sets. I like the cosmic spikes that come out of it. Again, with this kind of like tealish green being my favorite color of the entire bunch. And then when we move on to their weapons, they have much cooler weapons with this like cosmic void animation effect to it, and I love it. I honestly wonder if the arrows are going to have like cosmic void magic. I don't know if they will or not, but I'm pretty sure that this gear specifically is earmarked to be more like the Arathi gear, a gear that you get like an in-game, whereas the Blood Elf stuff you can start getting as you level up and do like gear tokens. So it would make sense if there's a bit more animation to it. Granted, I know not everyone's going to be happy about the Void Elves getting a bit more love compared to the Blood Elves in that regard. Granted, anyone can use these things, but still, I understand why people might feel a certain way about that one way or the other. And I just love that it's a different color for the Cosmic Void drenched to fetch with stars. Because oftentimes, there's a chance that it would still be like that just shadow color down here, even with the green shield. And then, of course, they also get their own unique warglaives, as Void Elves are now able to be Demon Hunters. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much just the overview of what we've got so far for them, and I wanted to kind of showcase that in this video.